It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Yeah, made a decision to take my ambition and triple the money. Only accepting the 50s and 100s. I look in the mirror, love what I'm becoming. Everything needing, they come in abundance. Love of my homies that stuck by my side. Fuck all that pride. Nigga was walking and breaking my shoes into pieces. Ain't even that dope for a ride. I put my life and my faith on the line. Rocking them cities, them niggas got blickies. My nigga just hit me with pluck for a 10 piece. If niggas can move it, we done with that Wendy's. I'm talking to semi. Watch it surroundings. If I got a bounty, it's basic survival. Go for that trigger, then pour out some liquor. I'll find my forgiveness somewhere in the Bible. It's all about taking chances in the street. Won't take advantage. Read the paper, take a gander. Niggas lie to place a man and spot the young and take advantage. Wait, many niggas just moved to the A, got through into the fire. Raising the heat while I grew up in the fire. Get your crew minimized, due to the eye. Niggas aim up high like 4th of July. I broke away from entertainment before the Trump administration needed ventilation. I studied the game and surveyed it and doubled down on my surveillance. They trying to be famous. I just got passion that needed expression, and through the procession I stumbled in sessions that altered my path and became a profession. Bitch, I got brain, don't call me no contestant. I was on go as a jit, I just been going legit. Switching my business, I'm finna sell vocals and kits and move on my family to sticks. Learning from Nipsey to grind for a purpose. You witching the copy, that's why I'm allergic. I'm bodying verses, my niggas gon' ride no matter the verdict. We never converting cause it's that gang.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. All right, we're going to be getting into the ASAP Rocky trial. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I've been kind of moving away. Well, I ain't gonna say moving away, but kind of evading this story because I didn't know how many of y'all even gave a fuck about ASAP Rocky or his trial or what he's going through right now. But as of yesterday, we got some footage of ASAP Relli, right, who is actually the victim in the situation. He was allegedly shot by ASAP Rocky in 2021 over an internal dispute between themselves and their crew over some money and some different things. Got into an altercation, physical altercation, got into a fight, and ASAP Rocky pulled out what is believed to be a gun. And I'm going to say, well, they say it's a gun anyway, but they're trying to determine whether or not this is a real firearm or if it was a prop starter pistol, right? ASAP Relli says, I know for sure it was not a prop gun because I was shot or grazed, right? So footage has come out of him taking a stand and literally recounting the incident that happened, which implicates ASAP Rocky. People on the internet are calling him a snitch. They've been calling him a snitch ever since this thing occurred and became a thing. In addition to this criminal trial, ASAP Relli also has a $30 million lawsuit against ASAP Rocky seeking damages. And we're going to go through some of the updates that are happening. I believe they're in day 2 of the trial. And we're going to show the footage of Relli on the stand, a little bit of the footage, not the entire thing, and go over, where this trial stands currently. I'm not going to follow this thing on a day-to-day basis. I'm not going to do that. I'm sure there's some channels out there that could give you that. But I know my insiders and my audience over here are not heavily tuned into Rocky like that anyway. So I'm just going to stay, high level when it comes to him, right? So let's just get to the information available and then we'll play the tape. So I'm on MSN and they've got this complex article that says how a one-page report upended the ASAP Rocky case. This was published yesterday, but it's got a good amount of information here, okay? So I think today is day 3, actually, of the trial. But they state, 2 days into ASAP Rocky's trial, and there's already been enough conflict and drama to last for weeks. The superstar is charged with 2 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm for allegedly shooting his former friend ASAP Relli back in 2021. He is potentially facing up to 24 years in prison if convicted. The issues in the courtroom so far, though, have nothing to do with Rocky's star status, the last-minute plea deal he turned down, or whether his common-law wife Rihanna will be attending, which, as of today, they say that she did make an appearance in the courtroom. Instead, most of the drama so far is centered around, of all seemingly innocuous things, a one-page report. Now, what does this report say? Okay. On day one, which occurred on Friday, January 24th, Deputy District Attorney J Nolan revealed that he had received a ballistics report from the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division, just the day before. The report was dated from January of last year, but they had never seen it. So this is a year-old robbery homicide report that nobody had seen. It had been sitting there for a year, allegedly. Okay? They say robbery homicide believed they had turned it over, and they didn't, Lewin told Judge Mark Arnold. Lewin placed an urgent request for additional scientific information related to the report and received 28 pages of it early Friday morning. The report was immediately turned over to Rocky's team, as was the subsequent backup. The reason this is a big deal is because of what the report shows and how it relates to Rocky's defense. There's video of the confrontation with Relli that shows Rocky brandishing what appears to be a firearm. The rapper's defense team is claiming it was a prop gun. Police, on searching the scene, didn't discover any shell casings. All right. So when police came and they did their own individual investigation at the time when this thing happened, they found no shell casings, no evidence that would prove that Rocky actually pow-powed at Relli. Right. However, they say Relli then presented 2 shell casings to the police several days later. He said he found them at the scene when he returned just an hour after the incident. So an hour after allegedly being shot at and or grazed, he went back to the scene and obtained 2 shell casings off of the ground, in which he turned in to the police several days later. Now, what I find interesting is that you found the shell casings the same day, just an hour after you were allegedly shot, but you go to the police several days later. Now, how many days that is, it's not in front of me at this time, but they say several. So you held on to evidence for multiple days before turning it into the police. So there could be some argument as to the authenticity of said shell casings, but we're going to continue. They say it was those casings that were tested in the newly found report. That report said, per Lewin, that the 2 casings are consistent with having been fired from certain 9mm handguns, including a Glock 43. Right? A Glock 43 is more likely to have put the marks on the casings than many other firearms, the prosecutor summarized. The reason this is relevant is that when Rocky's home was raided in April of 2022, a 9mm magazine loaded with 6 bullets was found. Okay, so they searched his home and they found a 9mm magazine with 6 bullets in it. Now, Rocky's tour manager, Lou Levin, is reportedly set to testify that the magazine found in A$AP Rocky's home was his. Now, whether or not that's true, I can't tell you, but I do know in many cases like this, when a rapper is being charged with weapons charges and stuff like that, typically a member of the entourage or crew might take the fall, right? Because you don't want the cash cow, you don't want the breadwinner of the whole situation to have to go sit in jail for a year, half a year, 2 years, or whatever the sentence comes from the judge. Let somebody that's not necessarily the main face of everything take the fall. I'm not saying that's what's happening here. I'm just saying that's what it looks like or appears to be out of my personal opinion. Okay. The last minute discovery of potentially crucial evidence made Rocky's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, extremely emotional. He asked for the report to be suppressed. So that's interesting that your lawyer in court is actually emotional in the courtroom. He also demanded an entirely new jury. Tacopina says that if he had known about the report while choosing jurors, it may have affected whether we would have kept or not kept a few jurors, one in particular. This appeared to be a reference to one female juror who was a firearms instructor. There's no way to proceed in this case, he says. I've never seen anything like this, the lawyer said to Judge Arnold. I'm trying to keep my composure, Your Honor. I don't know if I've been this upset in the courtroom in my whole career. While the timing of the report was last minute enough to draw plenty of attention, Judge Arnold believed that the state's account that robbery homicide mistakenly believed they had already sent it. So they say here, so what happens with A$AP's trial now? The rough outlines of each side's argument are very clear. As mentioned, Rocky is claiming that the gun he's seen with is a prop, an argument that will be backed up with testimony from ASAP 12E. 12E, along with tour manager Lou Levin, are set to say that the testing rapper frequently carried a prop gun because, per his lawyer, he was the victim of prior violence and stalker home invasions. Now, we do know that he has, been followed closely before. He assaulted somebody after being followed around and harassed for much time. I don't know about the home invasion part of it, but that's very possible. I'm sure a quick Google would give me a refresh on that, but I'm just shooting off the hip right now. So we'll just keep going. They're saying that he's been carrying a prop gun, I guess, to intimidate potential assailants from trying to get at him, right? Alongside that, the main thrust of Rocky's defense, as seen in Friday's opening argument, is that ASAP Relli wanted money from Rocky. They say it's nothing more than a money grab, a clear attempt at extortion by Relli, Tacopina says. He pointed out that Relli has sued Rocky in civil court over the incident, asking for $30 million in damages. Rocky's tale of the confrontation is that Relli was attacking ASAP Ills, so Rocky fired his prop gun several times in self-defense. Now, remember, a starter pistol or a prop gun, as he's saying, it has gunpowder in it. It has a loud, pop when you pull it, but no actual bullets are supposed to come out of it, right? It will be firing blanks. So he's saying that he was just firing to cause a distraction to get ASAP Relli from attacking ASAP Ills. Now, there is camera footage of ASAP Rocky actually hemming up Relli, and then a few moments later, he reaches and pulls, right? But again, I'm not here to convict nobody. I'm just going off of what the information that's available online is. Prosecutors tell a different story. That Relli went to a meetup with Rocky expecting to patch up their differences, but that an argument led to Rocky pulling out the gun and shooting. That side's opening statement was made by LA County Deputy District Attorney Paul Zermolik. They say this is not a complicated case. The evidence will show the events in this case were captured on surveillance video. As of yet, we don't have super clear surveillance video. We do see that there is a physical confrontation between the two of them, and there's like a shoving match and a hemming up. But the camera kind of, they get out of camera view for a moment. You see him pull something, and then, So there is a little bit of questionability to exactly what's visible, right? On the day jury selection began, Rocky turned down a plea deal from prosecutors. In return for pleading guilty to one of his 2 counts, Rocky was offered 180 days in jail, which is approximately 6 months, a 7-year suspended sentence, 3 years of probation, and 500 hours of community service. A lot of people felt like that was a good deal. But as a rapper, as a father, if you think you can beat this thing, right? You don't want to go spend 6 months in jail. You don't want to be on probation for an extended period of time. You don't want to have to go do community service, right? If you think you can get off on it completely, that's a pretty big chance. I think they're saying that he's fighting 24 years or something like that. But who am I to say? I hope I'm never in this position myself, right? They say TMZ reported that according to a source with direct knowledge, the rapper's reasoning behind turning down the plea deal was that it would cost him all of his endorsements, right? So if he pled guilty and just said, I absolutely shot this man in broad daylight, then all of my, all of my endorsements and all of my brand deals and my partners would pull their support from me, right? They say he would not be able to tour and his career would be over. They would have him under their thumb for over 8 years. Because again, you got to think this is from the outside looking in. If I'm a brand and I'm working with ASAP Rocky and you plead guilty to, in some instances, somebody could look at you like this was an attempt murder, even though the charges may not say that. But you got to think about the type of people that ASAP Rocky's in business with. they're gonna look at him like some fucking like a nigga. Let's be honest. They're gonna look at him like a dangerous nigga. So he's saying, ain't no way I'm just gonna take that on the chin. Y'all gonna have to fry me completely, or else I think I can beat this. That's on him. Tacopina's only comment was that his client turned the deal down because he always has maintained his innocence. While there's no evidence beyond the anonymous source that Rocky was concerned with the career ramifications of a plea, the reasoning does make sense. Back in November, Aaron Haney, chief policy officer at Reform Alliance, spoke to Complex about the potential drawbacks of Young Thug's plea and his racketeering case. She explained that probation conditions are often vague and broad and subjective. And let's be honest, the way that probation conditions can be set up, they're really just a pipeline to get you back behind bars. They make it hard for you to maneuver in society, especially in a society where you have to go back to your friends, family, and people who may also have charges of their own, may have firearms, may have weed habits or different things, to where it's easy for you to find yourself back in that revolving door, right? They state here, they often mean different things for different defendants. She continued, tying it to the frequent traveling involved in being a professional musician like Thug or Rocky. One of the general conditions for people is that they cannot usually leave even the county, but definitely the state, without explicit permission from their supervision officer. But hey, if you're a high profile rapper, you rich, you know, you've been procreating with Rihanna, I might take checking in with a PO to make sure I can go somewhere, rather than checking in with the CO to make sure I could go play some basketball. But that's just me. Hopefully I'm never in that position. Now let's get to the testimony here. This is ASAP Relli taking a stand for questioning, all right?
Pointed at me, and then that's when Elijah was like in between, and he's like, "I'll kill you right now, pussy," or like whatever, like just was. And then I'm right behind Elijah, and I'm saying, "If you brought a gun, use it then. Like the fuck you brought a gun for, pussy." That's the words I was saying to him.
When you said he pointed at you, where on your body was it pointing?
Like towards my stomach, like towards like my headish a little. Like everything was happening so fast. So fast, you know what I mean?
And from what you're describing, was it moving?
Yeah, it was moving. He had it up.
Okay, so he didn't just hold it at your stomach. It was kind of
no. He was looking for a spot to shoot me.
Okay.
Like if Elijah wasn't there, I don't know what would have happened.
And you said as he was pointing it at you, what did he say?
I'll kill you right now.
And was that in an angry tone?
Yeah, he was livid.
Was his voice elevated? Like, was he yelling this at you, or was this something he was saying quiet?
Yeah, because we was yelling back and forth at this point.
All right. And you said that after he pointed the gun at you, you became angry, correct?
Yeah, I became furious.
So what did you say back to him?
I told him to use it.
Why?
Because mentally, like, I couldn't believe he just pulled the gun out on me. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you better use that shit. The fuck you got a gun for?
Can you explain, I want, as best you can to the jury, explain to them what you mean by, I can't believe you just pulled a gun on. What do you mean by that?
Like, I physically cannot believe there was a gun in my face. Like, that was the breaking point for me. Because like what I said, I told this kid numerous times, if you have a problem with me, let me know. You know what I mean? I feel like this got to the max. Like, this was like, no return. So, if I was willing to die for my respect at this point, I don't care. You get what I'm saying? Like, if this is what you want to do, I still have my dignity. That's how I felt.
So that's a piece of ASAP Relli's testimony. There are some other quotes that come from that are not in this video. I'm going to just kind of go down a list of some of the things that were said. So here on allhiphop.com, they say testifying in court, Relli painted a picture of a fractured 15-year friendship that soured as the two grew apart. What was once a bond forged in high school and their membership in the ASAP collective turned tense, culminating in an alleged shooting incident in Hollywood Boulevard. Not Boulevard, holy smokes. Somebody might have got bullied though. On November 6, 2021. Relli says, truthfully, it was all like a movie. It was weird. Just the way he was walking, the whole thing. It just caught me off guard. There was no time to talk, no time for nothing. Relli testified that the tension reached its boiling point on November 5th when he overheard a phone call in which A$AP Rocky referred to him as a bitch. The remark, Relli noted, was not an isolated incident but emblematic of what he described as an ongoing strained relationship with the rapper. He says it kind of always been like that. It's really hard having a relationship with Rocky. In my personal experience, he lies a lot. The following day, Relli said Rocky initiated contact accusing him of ducking him through text messages and FaceTime calls. Okay? And the alleged story around this is that one of the A$AP members had a family member that passed away. And I believe A$AP Relli was angry with Rocky for allegedly not helping out with funeral costs and things of that nature. Okay? So word gets back to Rocky that he's been talking slick. Rocky says, "Why you ducking me?" They have text messages and FaceTime calls. Relli eventually shared his location with Rocky, believing they might resolve their issues. Instead, an altercation unfolded. Okay? So this is pretty much in line with what we've been talking about thus far. They have this altercation that ensues. Relli claims that Rocky taunted him saying, "What now, pussy?" before the situation spiraled into chaos. And I'm guessing that the "what now, pussy" part is when he upped his fi, right? Relli says, "To be honest, I would never fight Rocky. And that's God's honest truth. I don't have a reason to fight him. We're in an industry where you get blackballed really easy. I'm obviously on the lower end of the stick here, as in his, his celebrity, his persona. He's not to the level of a Rocky." He says, "So that's why in the video, you notice I'm a lefty, as in he's left-handed." He says, "He grabbed me with two hands, and if I wanted to fight him, I would have hit him with the right." Relli testified, maintaining that he sought no physical confrontation with Rocky. Relli also described his fear of professional repercussions stemming from this feud. He says, "If I fight Rocky and I beat him up, I'm definitely getting blackballed," he said, addressing the power dynamic within the music industry and their connection. Right? Prosecutors allege that Rocky fired his gun during the altercation, grazing Relli's knuckles, while the defense insists once again that he only fired a starter pistol to de-escalate the fight. A$AP Rocky, who faces up to 24 years in prison if convicted, has declined a plea deal, as we spoke before. His legal team is expected to argue that Relli's accusations are financially motivated, citing a civil lawsuit Relli filed against the rapper as evidence, once again, in the upwards of $30 million. Okay? So that's what we got here as it pertains to A$AP Rocky and Relli and their trial. Let me know down below in the comments what y'all think of all this. Do y'all think A$AP Rocky is on a hibachi cooked for the world to see? Do you think that there's a chance he gets off? Does he find himself in a Young Thug, G Herbo type situation where even if they do get prosecuted or whatever, or no, because he didn't take a plea deal, so maybe not. But I was just thinking, do y'all think maybe, he received sentencing, but then he's able to still serve it outside of the walls and still maintain some level of freedom? Or do y'all think he's going to end up having to serve it in actual prison? Again, he refused the plea, so that's not coming back no time soon. So we're going to have to see how this thing goes. Of course, there's going to be more to come on the trial, more to possibly be revealed in terms of evidence, if they can find some. Again, his manager is expected to take the fall for whatever that 9mm was that was found in A$AP's home. And we're going off of two shell cases that A$AP Relli allegedly found an hour after the incident occurred, but not even the police were able to find that. So we'll see what happens. Again, let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit on my almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some batteries. Stand for my honor, but you run no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.